Hello, I am your instructor, Lou Tanga, and I will be guiding you through this course of Advanced Convergent Technologies for the Spring 2019 semester. I wanted to go ahead and give you a video review of the syllabus and the course in Blackboard to prepare you for the next 15 weeks. Um, so let me start off by saying that we're going to be starting our first meeting on February 13th, not January 7th, like it says in the class scheduling. So we are going to meet February 13th is our first day. And then we have 4 other days where we're going to meet through the semester, and we're going to work on labs exclusively in those time periods. That can be found in Blackboard on the in-person meet dates selection right here. Back up here to announcements, we have the welcome, tells you to take a look around and do some review of what's available here. It has notes that I've had from past classes that I've left in here. Here's a topic list that is a recommended listing of topics for your final paper. You can choose these, or you could submit me another option that you'd like to do that relates to voice technologies or advanced convergent technologies. So that's the announcement section. When I post an announcement, I will send it out and it will go to your email as well. It'll go to your college email. If you prefer your business email or your personal email, you can make the setting in your college Outlook to forward it to another address so you can get it. Um, so we'll get to the syllabus in a second. In-person meet dates we talked about. We're going to look at course content real quick here. So under course content, we have a little information about the quizzes. Um, so the format has changed a little bit for this class due to some travel I have to do for business. So I will, like I said, the first class we're going to start on is February 13th. That is going to give you 5 weeks of straight of reading chapters and then completing the quizzes by the next week for those chapters. So it gives you a good 5 weeks of some reading and then quizzing on that on those topics before we get heavily into labbing the next um, 10 weeks. So looking here, we have 5 different modules. Each of these modules line up in the syllabus to assignments. There is a week 1 video lecture, which I've recorded in the past. You can go ahead and view that if you'd like. There's a lab 1 traditional voice, which is not needed to be taken care of right now. We're not doing labs until after the first class meeting, which is in February. But each of the modules you'll find your quizzes. So go ahead and click on your quiz, and you go ahead and click on begin. It'll tell you how much time you have and how many questions there are. Plenty of time. Uh, most everything can be found in the book. This is an open book quiz, open book exam quiz. Uh, so if you can't find it in the book for some reason, you can probably find it on the internet, but that's not your primary source of knowledge. Should not be looking it up. You should already have read about it and know about it. So take that into consideration. All right, so there's again, back under course content, you'll find modules here. So the 5 modules for the 5 quizzes will be found in here. You'll also find a reflection paper assignment. This reflection paper is not an essay. I'm sorry, it's not a research paper. It is more like an essay. It is more like a, um, a, a diary entry, if anything. 3, 4, 5 paragraphs, a page worth of reflection on a subject that you've learned. Check the syllabus for the due date. I believe it's going to be February 13th, so go ahead and check the syllabus, but I think that's the day that we get in and meet for the first day. That's when it's due by class. Here's some information on how to write a reflection paper. So you can go ahead and click on those and take a look at those. Your final exam is posted in here. You can that is due the last day of class, which I believe is April 30th. The APA final paper is also in here. This is due the last day of class, which is also April 30th. This APA final, here's some resources in here for that, by the way. But the APA final paper is going to be a research paper with cited examples, with a cover page, with a works cited listing, and it'll be a total with the cover page and works cited. It'll be a total of 5 pages. So you'll have 3 pages double spaced with a maximum font size of 12, and you'll be able to get me 3 good pages of information that you've researched for this APA final paper. So those are your assignments. Now there's going to be lab assignments as well, and we'll work on those in class. The first 2 assignments, the lab assignments, are working on a physical router in both of them. So you do have to be in class for those. And the final 3 are working on a new environment that I created that will allow us to work with Call Manager and Unity Connection. Let me get rid of that. So these are new cutting edge technologies. You'll be working on those, and it's some really good learning experience that you can apply actually in the real world today. So we're gonna do all that in class. So try not to miss those classes. They're very hard to make up those assignments. And if you just show up for class and you work with your partners and you get it done in the classroom, the effort involved would be enough to get you a full credit. So it's really hard to do poorly on a lab in my class. All right, so the labs, again, we'll talk about those later as they come up in the in-meeting class schedules. All right, so calendar of activities, I'm going to go ahead and show you that. And here's the calendar of activities. Module 1 is Wednesday, January 9th. That's the first day of class. Again, you don't have to be there. Start reading your chapters in your book. Read your chapters 6, 7, and 8. They're short. Of course, make sure you get your book. Take quiz 1 before January 16th, 2019 at 11:59 p.m. Hey, let me back up real quick here. If the bookstore doesn't have any books for some reason, you will be able to find this on Amazon very cheaply. So go ahead and get on that real quickly because the first quiz is due January 16th. So module 2, the next week after that, and the week after that, and so forth and so on. So the 5 weeks of quizzing and reading and quizzing until we come to the first day that we're going to meet, and that's February 13th. This is when your reflection paper is due, and this is a meet in person at the Advanced Technology Center. We are going to meet inside the lab. I don't care what your schedule says about the classroom that we're working in. We're going to meet inside the lab, and we're going to start lab work right away. So that's more about the labs. Here's your finals assignment, your final APA paper, and your final exam when they're due. And that is your calendar of activities. Now, we go to the syllabus now, and this will actually bring a link to the syllabus. Here we go. All right, and in here has all the legal information, is the Bible of our class here. Your important dates when we begin. Your refund deadline is the 14th of January. Your withdrawal deadline with a W will be on March 21st, and the last day of class is 4:30. Let me make an important note about that. Oh, it's right here actually. Spring break is 3:11 to 3:17. There'll be no classes meeting. There will be no nothing going on during that week. So that is a break in your time. Go ahead and take that as a relaxation. If you want to work on assignments during that time, though, that's your choice. These are additional college holidays, but we don't meet during those days, so it doesn't affect us. It says we're in 203A. Like I said, we're going to be in the working lab area. That's where we're going to do our work. Here's the book information. Information about the labs and lab equipment that you can read on your own. Let me get rid of this outline. Come on. There we go. Accessibility information. If you have any ADA requirements, please make sure they're forwarded to me from the ADA office. Learning outcomes, course participation, there's tests, there's quizzes, writing styles, APA. And again, here's a recap of the calendar of activities that we posted in the other section. Course breakdowns, 1,000-point scale. There'll be 5 labs, heavy points on your labs. Please make sure you're there for labs. Quizzes are a good portion of your grade as well. The reflection journal is worth 100, the APA paper is worth 150, and your written final exam is worth 150, for a total of 1,000. FNs will be given if you do not show up for the first 2 weeks of class, or you miss a majority of the in-class meetings, which there's only 5 in-class meetings. So if you miss too many of them without giving me any kind of notification, well, we're gonna have a problem, and we may end up this route. But I prefer, if you're keeping in communication with me, I prefer never to go to a failure of non-attendance. That's for people who just don't show up for the class at all, ever. Incomplete grades will be given only if you completed 75% of the course. And this is for people who may have to be deployed or have extenuating circumstances where they have to leave and they're not going to be able to make classes. We'll work together to get them to complete them. Academic dishonesty, don't cheat. Late makeup work, we'll talk about this a little bit more. Please try your best to make sure you get things on time. There's a time limit on the quizzes. Makeup quizzes will not be offered. Quizzes are due Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. During this semester they are. If you miss a quiz, get with a classmate to see the questions. Plan your time accordingly. If the Blackboard server goes down anytime during the week, you're still responsible for the quiz. If you have a problem with Blackboard where your browser crashed and it closed and completed your quiz for you, you can't get back in there, get with me as soon as possible to make sure that we get you back up and running as quick as possible, and I'll clear it. I have ways of knowing that if it was a situation where it was closed, or if it was a situation where you just didn't do it and want to say that. So please plan ahead, and don't wait until Wednesday at 11:59 to start your quiz, because you're gonna do poorly. Okay, so that is pretty much the syllabus. You'll see your grades are going to be here, and where you'll see a listing of all your grades and how you did on them. I do have to modify some of these grade points because I copied this from my last Blackboard shell, but that will be taken care of before we meet up, so don't worry about those. That is it. If you have any questions, you can contact me at lewis.tenga@fscj.edu. It is inside the syllabus as well. Sometimes people like to email me from their private email addresses. That is not okay. I really can't respond to those email addresses because I have no way of knowing if I'm talking to a student or not, because it's not their student email address. So please make your correspondences to me using your student FSCJ email account. So just please contact me if you have any questions, and I'll see you all on February 13th at 5:30 at the Advanced Technology Center. Thank you.